Hey everyone, this is Matt from endsickness.org. Today I'm going to talk about how your emotions affect your dietary decisions. First, let me say I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. This is based on my personal experience. This is for informational, educational purposes only. So how did my emotions affect my dietary decisions? Well, what I realized is when I was consuming foods that were trigger foods, often I was going to these foods right after something stressful happened. So for example, I would have something happen at work at the time, or something would happen with my daughter or whatever. And when that would occur, I wouldn't know how to deal with this emotion in the moment. I didn't really have a coping mechanism. I didn't know what to do. So instead, I just chose to eat something that provided me pleasure. And before I knew it, I had ate enough of these things that I had forgot about the thing I was thinking about that led me to the food in the first place. So for example, something would happen at work and I'd come back on the way back from work. I'd be frustrated and know how to deal with this. What would I do? I'd stop and buy banana chips somewhere, because banana chips, for whatever reason at that time, were my thing, and that was like my craving, were banana chips, right? When I'd consume this food and I'd eat the banana chips, at some point in time I'd just kind of fog out and get tired, right? And kind of get drowsy. And I realized during the whole time when I was eating these banana chips that I wasn't thinking about the emotion that led me to the banana chips in the first place. And even after I was done with the banana chips, I wasn't thinking about the emotion because I was drowsy and I'd fell asleep. So the food actually served as a distraction for me to be able to avoid this emotion that was going on internally. And this was something that I became highly aware of, that I was doing in various ways, in my life. And it was like, as soon as I had an emotion that I couldn't address, that I had to repress, that I had to stuff into my stomach because I didn't know how to actually accept this thing or didn't know how to reframe it, then I just had to do something to feel better. I didn't know how to deal with it. Otherwise, I would feel pain, emotional pain. I'd cry, whatever it is. So I would end up going to something I was consuming. Now, in life, there are options in terms of what you consume. It's obviously what we're eating. People will consume substances, people consume other things. But the reality is, most of the time when you have emotions, it's going to lead you to consume something, and that's going to affect your symptoms. So if you, for example, had a rough day at work, then you have a burger and a beer. You wake up, you're feeling kind of groggy. You don't always make the connection, hey, it was the burger and the beer that made me feel groggy, because you don't want to make that connection, right? Because you enjoy those things. You enjoy the burger, you enjoy the beer. You're just, it was a rough day yesterday, long day at work, whatever. You blame the thing that you don't like, okay? And this is what I've seen over and over and over again. The first thing you're gonna blame is the thing you like the least as the reason for your problem. So if you have, for example, emotions that have been causing you issues, and you overconsume these things that make you not feel well, you're not ever going to blame those things, because those are going to be the things that help you to feel good, So you're going to be caught in this cycle of consuming things to try to feel better from these emotional difficulties. I did it myself for years and years and years. I mean, I would say all my life, up until the age I got to 38, 39 years old. That's all I did, was I consumed things to help me feel better in the current moment, because my emotions were messed up. So realize that this is a pattern with you. Whatever you crave is what you're typically going to go to when you have emotional stress. And those foods are typically trigger foods, okay? You're not going to crave broccoli or apples when you're in a state of stress. You're going to crave something that's not good for you. You crave something that triggers your immune system. Even when I was eating healthy foods, I would even take myself to the thing that was probably the most triggering in my fridge. I'd go straight to the hummus that has 20 ingredients, tahini seeds, all that in it. I would go straight to it when I had stress, and ask yourself, what foods do you take yourself to in the middle of stress? Which ones are they? And that'll help you identify which foods are triggering you, which ones are bad for you. I know you don't want to hear this. I know you don't want to hear that the foods you enjoy the most are the ones that are most likely to trigger you, but that's the reality of the situation. And you're here to learn in this video. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly, but you got to realize your emotions are affecting your dietary choices, and that is affecting your symptoms. And unless you get a hold of your emotions, you're going to be stuck in a circle where you're going to eat your way out of the situation. You're going to try to consume things, try to take pills to get out of these emotional situations. But the reality is, you have to address these emotions head on, change the story around them, change your perspective about them. And that's the only way you're going to be able to get out of this scenario. So thanks for watching. Go to my website, endsickness.org. I get hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there, and hope to see you in another video soon.